Hi guys, it is Audra and I am here with my Cramathon Wrap-Up. As you can tell, I have my huge pile of books ready to go, and let's just do this. So I'm just going to get the two elephants in the room out of the way. The librarian at Auschwitz and the refugee. I did not pick up to finish these. I had half of each one of these left to finish. Didn't touch those, but I did pick up two completely different books. So maybe that counts for those spots? I don't know. So the first book that I read that was not on my challenge list at all was The Diviners. And I'm loving this. I'm only 50 pages in. And I'm listening to this on an audiobook because I started it yesterday on my 4-hour drive home from Kansas City. And I'm loving it. I can definitely see what the rave is all about. And I'm hoping to get through this very, very soon and move on to the next one. I found the matching cover to all the other ones at Barnes & Noble, and it's beautiful, and I want them all. The next one I read is A Bridge Across the Ocean by Susan Messner. Whoever she is a great writer. But this one was one of 5 I had for my mom to choose from on our way down to the other side of Kansas, which is another 3.5, 4-hour drive. And we have started kind of this new tradition when it's just her and I, we read a book out loud there and on the way back, as well as before we go to bed at night, so that's a lot of fun. And she chose this one, and there were some weird twists in it we were not prepared for. So this is one of my favorite kind of books. It goes back in time, but then it goes forward to present day and back and forth, and somewhere along the line, these stories are meeting to connect people across generations. And so this is actually a story of 3 different women, and the first one being Simone in like the 1940s, and she is in hiding after her dad and brother are killed by the resistance, and she's in a cellar, and then a paratrooper also joins her, and it's that story. The second woman during the same time period as Simone is Annalise, and she is married to a Nazi soldier, and she is abused, and so she runs away, and both her and Simone are war brides, on the RMS Queen Mary after the war, and you figure out who they met, how they're on there. One of them is not what it seems at all. And then they are somehow connected with a present-day woman named Brett, and her twist to the story was what threw us off from the beginning. Brett can talk and see ghosts. And so they're somehow all connected. I haven't quite finished it. We're on page like 275, so I need to finish it and get through it. But I'm enjoying this one. I think I will probably be recommending it. And actually, because it was her writing, it encouraged me to get her book for the January Book of the Month pick. And so I'm excited to read more works from her. She also wrote Secrets of a Charmed Life. So moving on to the things I had planned to read and did read. The first one I finished was Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire. This is a second installment in the Wayward Children series, and I love this. I think I might have liked it better than the first one, actually. It is the story of Jack and Jill before the first book, very outside of the realm of anything I've ever read before. There's vampires, there's a mad scientist, and it's all very dark and twisty. And it has a lot of talk about gender roles and sexuality, and just things that you wouldn't expect from a teeny tiny book that's also about murder. So if you haven't read these, you need to pick it up. I know the third one comes out this month, and everybody is ready for it, so I'm excited to see that this month. The next one I finished was a super easy one, and it is Dogman Unleashed. I gave this a 5 out of 5, weirdly enough. But my kids love it at school. I was glad I could check it out, and I will be returning it, so tomorrow they can check it out for themselves when they get back from break. So definitely recommend if you like graphic novels in middle grade. The next one I finished was And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. It is by Frederick Bachman, and this is a short story that was picked out by Allie from Hardback Hoarder, and I love this one. It's very short. This is actually the large print edition because that's all of our library had, and it was huge. But it is basically the story of a man who is getting Alzheimer's or dementia and how he's explaining it to his grandson, as well as seeing his wife that has already passed. So it's just a beautiful story to get empathy and understanding about what somebody is going through like that. I did get emotional in the last couple of pages. They were beautifully written, as was the whole story, but the last several pages were just phenomenal. It made me think a lot of my own grandmother who fought this herself. And yeah, if you have anybody in your family that has gone through this, I would definitely recommend this. It's a short read, but it's going to really touch your heart. The next one that I did finish the end of was Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. And I didn't have a whole lot to finish, but because I was listening to it on audiobook, and it was okay. I think the story would give a 4, especially the ending. I enjoyed the ending part. The audiobook, I would pass on the audiobook. I gave it maybe a 3 just because the story was good. It was very monotone. Like, they'd be in like a fighting scene and it'd be like, and then she hit him. And then they crashed. And then, like, where's the excitement? Come on, build it up. It was not there. So I think that's why I wasn't too sure about the story itself, was because the audiobook really didn't get me in the mood for it. And it's fairly lengthy, but if you like fantasy, superheroes, all that jazz, I would give this one a shot. I am excited to read the new Batman one that just came out a couple days ago. Even though this one wasn't the best, I already have the audiobook on hold. I'm hoping that it's a different narrator, but we shall see. I finally finished the last several chapters of what I had left of The Stars Beneath Our Feet. It's by David Barclay Moore. And this is, like I said, a higher middle grade. I definitely would not go 4th, 5th. I would definitely say 6th, probably 7th or 8th more than likely. This is about a boy after his brother is shot in gang violence and how he copes with building of Legos. Now, although those sound super sweet, there are some trigger warnings, I suppose, for obviously grief and gangs, but also the way they address the mom turning into a lesbian, I guess, is how they address it, is just problematic. I did not like some of the commentary that was made. Even though I know that's how people really talk, I don't feel like it's something that I want to put in the hands of young kids, and so that they can repeat that type of thing. But I think 7th, 8th grade would be able to process that better than just a lower middle grade. But that's my personal opinion. My kids in 4th, 5th grade are not ready for this, but it is a good read. I believe it is Own Voices as well. And the last one that was on my challenge list was Before We Were Yours. I have read about 50 or so more pages, but I'm not quite all the way done, so I hope to finish this tonight. And I am really enjoying it. It's kind of slowed down a little bit. I'm hoping that everything gets connected, because it's one of those back to historical fiction, present day connection of when kids were basically kidnapped from their families during the 1930s, early, I believe. And these children of poverty were sold to rich families without them knowing that they were being stolen from their families. And yeah, it's just a sad time in our history. So yeah, I needed to finish this one tonight. So those were all the books that I worked on, completed, totally got sidetracked and read anyways for Cramathon. I had a whole lot of fun. I did enjoy getting to connect with people on Twitter, so I'm going to continue those types of things as well as doing readathons. So if you know of any upcoming readathons coming up, please let me know so I can join in the fun and get to know you and the books that you love a little bit better. But until next time, bye guys!